Hi, welcome to Spittin' the Bit with Billy and Kevin, two old friends who talk about horse racing and, well, probably some other things that'll come up as well. So join us for Spittin' the Bit with Billy and Kevin. Well, welcome everybody. This is Billy and Kev, Spittin' the Bit. We want to talk a little bit
Oh,
about,
hello.
well, hello. We want to talk a little bit about horse racing, and the big news this week was the retirement of one of my favorite horses, Thorpedo Anna. Just heartbreaking that she's retiring, but we get it. Here's the headline. Here's how it reads out: award-winning racehorse Thorpedo Anna, the 2024 Horse of the Year, was officially retired from racing on October 15th, 2025. The four-year-old filly will begin her new career as a broodmare at Hill and Dale Farms in Kentucky. Okay, here's the trainer Kenny McPeak confirmed the retirement decision after veterinarians found a mild bone bruise, a contusion, I think they call that, during an evaluation. While the injury was minor and the horse could have returned to training in about 90 days, the owners opted to retire the champion and focus on her breeding career, which I get. If she's going to miss, the Breeders' Cup and all that, she's 90 days and you start, and again, that's a long ways to a lot of races to give up and to move on. Um, Racing highlights.
She
She was
doesn't really have anything left to prove, you know.
no,
I get
yeah. She.
that.
I didn't know this. Her nickname was the Grizzly. I didn't know that.
I did
Known
not
as
know that
the
either.
yeah. Kentucky Oaks winner
Did
in
they say
2000.
why?
No, they said known as the Grizzly.
That's,
Torpedo Anna
that's awesome.
compiled an excellent. Um, she won the Breeders' Cup Distaff. She won Kentucky Oaks, uh, Horse of the Year. Impressive career stats. She had 12 wins and two second places from 16 starts. So 16 starts, winning 12, finishing second in two of them, and then I think the other two she finished fourth. Um, accumulated
Yeah.
5.4 million in earnings.
And
Um,
she's only a
4-year-old.
four?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's
yeah, it's
awesome.
yeah. So, oh, here's something really cool. Brilliant move, I think. The owners are going to give 20% ownership shares up for auction at Keeneland on the sale on October 29th, 2025. So they're going to take 20% of her and auction it off her broodmare, percentage. I think that's really
I
brilliant.
read that. That's super cool. Yeah.
Should we,
Um,
should we, kind of have everybody pitch in something? Wouldn't it be cool to own part of Tor-
oh my
Torpedo
gosh.
Anna? She
That
would,
would be amazing.
but I'm not sure we would. You and I could sell everything we own and have enough money for that. But anyways, we don't own a
I
lot,
got
so
it. Sure, I could call a realtor and just
yeah.
sell it for half its
So
value and then pump it
yeah,
into
pump it into a racehorse, but or a
exactly.
broodmare. I'm sorry, she's not a racehorse anymore, broodmare. But yeah, so October 29th, people, Keeneland sale. Uh,
She's awesome. I was holding out hopes last year when we went to the Breeders' Cup that they'd change their mind and run her against the boys. After what she did in the Travers in 24. Because she finished, she almost beat Fierceness, but she beat Sierra Leone and Dornoch in that race. But she gave Fierceness everything,
she finished second,
everything.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's one. The third place horse in the Travers goes on to win the Classic, and Fierceness um, finished second. I think she would have had a legit shot to win the Classic.
Yeah, really, really
But
fun.
winning finishing second by a head to Fierceness in the Travers, that was a great race.
Yeah. you know,
So she
Breeders'
was,
Cup champion. I mean, that looks good winning the distaff, you know. But
yeah,
she was amazing. She absolutely, you know, when we were there, we were at the rail on the inside as they're ready to go. And uh, all the races, yeah, you'd get a handful of people would come up to the rail to watch, but with hers, it was just thick. That had to be the biggest. And it's kind of like she was the star of the show at the Breeders' Cup.
I agree 100%. I
Yeah,
agree. Everybody was there. Just, no, I shouldn't say everybody was there, but she was the star. That's who
yeah.
you really, she was ahead above everybody on who you wanted to see run. And there's, it's the Breeders' Cup. There's
And
amazing
she,
horses there.
and
But
she dominated. She
yeah,
absolutely crushed.
she lived
Uh,
up to the billing.
You made money on her, and I don't know how. The odds were so she went off at like I don't know 1 to 5 or some ridiculous odds, and I don't know how
Just
you did it.
started on, I mean, I think it's because um, I took a chance that because I had the exacta and the trifecta. I didn't box anything. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
had it and took a chance going on having it in the right order, and then um, put half the money on her to win, and then the other half on a trifecta. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I actually made some money on the race. I was surprised, um, and
Yeah,
it made it worth watching. Well, I shouldn't say made it worth watching. Made it fun to still gamble on a
yeah.
race where you know what's going to happen, at least on the top. But I had read that in my um, this was when it first was going, this dude's book. um, I think he's passed away. Steve Davidowitz, this book. You ever read that book?
No.
He used to be kind of the gospel of handicapping back in the day. But he pointed out, um, like, you still could have made money in the Belmont with the Secretariat because Sham faded.
That's true. Yeah,
So I kind of kept that in my back of my mind when we were
you
at the
just
Breeders' Cup last year, knowing that
just
Thorpedo Anna,
gotta play it
she's got
right.
a she's gonna have to run backwards to lose this race, but she there's still other ways to make some money.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Speaking of making money, you made money. Your
speak.
last episode, you handicapped was it Queen Elizabeth II? Was that the race?
That was the race last
And Saturday, the 11th,
Saturday.
October 11th. And you had
Yep, and it
went your way.
kind of went according to plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went. Uh, Anyone that might have watched us spit in the bit last week, um, it went better than even what I was hoping it would go. We got much better odds than what the morning line
So it was
was
Lush
indicating.
Lips, right? You liked
Yes,
Lush
sorry.
Lips, and she
I
went off
had
at
it.
what? Would she go off at eight to
Uh,
one? I'm guessing
yeah,
eight to
she
one.
did. She went off at, if I remember right, she went off at 8-1, and Laura Lynn actually went off at 2-1, which was not bad. So and the I didn't play the trifecta. I wish I would have, but even that number 5 horse that um, I was talking about, opulent restraint, went off at like 11-1. But do you want to watch the stretch
Yeah, yeah,
run
yeah.
quick?
Let's show
Nice
that.
race. Tyler, I just think he's got a real nice hand for Keeneland turf. I have no complaints. So yeah, it was Lush Lips is the number one, and
That's right.
Laurelin is the number two, and Opulent Restraint is the number five. Um, the other horse I had in that super was Brad Cox horse, the number 9, and I am forgetting the horse's name. Is it Theom? I think so. But Closer, and that's the number 9 in the back. So yeah, you want to watch the stretch
Yeah,
run?
let's watch the stretch run.
Um, do
Number
I
one,
have it
Lush
up? I think,
Lips.
and
Huh?
she settled in real nice behind.
Where is she right
Hillier.
now? So
She's right there,
there we go.
number 1. And the 5 is that's what I was hoping would set the pace, and it's a decent pace. Um, but Tyler, just got in the hip pocket and hung right there and had plenty left to
Oh,
hold off the favorite.
is that just a hand ride? I didn't see him go
Yeah.
to the whip at all.
I mean, I think he shows the stick, but he judged the
Shows it for
pace
a bit.
real
Yeah.
nice. Um, and that Brad Cox horse just was too far back, I think. Sorry about that. But yeah, it was a fun little race, and got twice the odds I was hoping for. I think the morning line was like 9-2 or 4-1 on Lush Lips, and was going to be the third or fourth favorite. But
Yeah. Well, congrats on the win and congrats to anybody who followed your
yeah,
your tip.
yeah, 50-cent trifecta for those 4. If he had, you know,
All right.
boxed, it was like $92 or something.
Beautiful. Hey, so you handicapped Breeders' Cup, the Dirt Mile.
Yeah,
You
so
did a
the
little
where's
what
that already?
you
What's
couldn't help
that?
yourself, huh? Past performances come out. They don't even have the field set yet completely, right? And you're already handicapping it.
Well, because I was right. I mean, I was bored, and I was just looking through some of the races, and that some of it's still speculation, right,
Yeah.
on who's actually going to run in some of these races. Um, but at least on paper, the possibilities for the dirt mile this year look really, really interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
you were sharing some of the horses in there. I was like, whoa, that's gonna be a fun race.
yeah, it's I agree 100%. And sure, there's maybe other years where it's fun too, but it's a pretty diverse field, and kind of exciting. Uh, like Bracket Buster is the number 1 horse. Or I shouldn't even say the number 1 horse because they haven't assigned any post positions, but Bracket Buster is pointed towards it. Um, Bracket Buster won the Oklahoma Derby, finished second in the Traverse to Sovereignty this summer. Ran fourth in Haskell, but finished second in the Lexington at Keeneland. Chancer McPatrick is running in it. Second in the Tampa Bay Derby last year. Came into the Breeders' Cup Juvie last year. I think was probably the number 2 choice on the board, if I remember right, but ran nothing in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, but had won the Champagne, won the Hopeful last year, and then after the Tampa Bay Derby, kind of ran blah in the Bluegrass. So it hasn't really done much since, but still, there's a history to this horse. It's
Sure.
a Chad Brown horse. Citizen Bull's running in the race. Don't need to mention Citizen Bull, but um, you know,
I'm waiting for you to take a
running.
shot at Baffert on this one.
I mean, not even to say, but going into the Santa Anita Derby, won the Breeders' Cup last year, won the American Pharoah, won the Robert B. Lewis. Can't remember journalism and put him away in the San Diego Derby, but I don't remember if he went off as the favorite. I would assume journalism did.
Yeah, yeah, he
But
did.
anyway,
Sure, yeah,
yeah. All right. So no slouch of a horse for sure. Um,
big horse.
yeah,
He's
monster.
he's a
Uh,
big boy.
Full Sereno. I think that's how they pronounce it. I've never watched one of those horses race, but John Sadler horse is in the race. Finished second in um, the Goodwood G1 race at Santa Anita in the September. But last year in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, won it. Um, Locked is potentially going to race in it. They haven't decided if it's going to be the classic or not. But our boy Mystic Dan's running in, is pointed towards the dirt
Like
mile.
like Mystic Dan.
Yeah, so
So tell us how you
got
think it's
some.
going to shake out, assuming
I haven't even got
they.
done. There's more
Oh
horses.
my gosh!
Nysos is running in the race, coming back. Or started the comeback trail. But he was it was a big disappointment that he went down in 2024. But another Baffert horse, but he's looking really good. Long time off and has had a few races this spring and summer. Won the last two by combined like 8 lengths. Um, though I know nothing about this horse, I love its name, Tumbarumba,
Tumbarumba.
horse. And White Barrio is also pointed towards it. And White Barrio, uh, won the classic at Santa Anita a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So a
So you,
really nice field
so you have older and younger horses.
from
Yeah, for 8 different age groups, different. Some that have stretched out a little longer. Some that thinking about running in the classic. Yeah.
some Triple Crown horses, but you've got a Derby winner and a Breeders' Cup Juvie winner, um, Breeders' Cup Classic winner, the Dirt Mile winner. So yeah, it's an interesting race, and that's why I thought, oh, I'm gonna do a little number crunching on this race because that's a really fun field. So yeah, I I kind of like Mystic Dan in this race, and
Lot
how
to
he's
like.
running.
Lot to
Yeah,
like.
I mean, I'm a little apprehensive against when he's running against some of these Baffert like to be on or near the lead horses at Del Mar. Um, but the way he's been running this summer, spring and summer, I like it. I think he's got a real shot. Beyond the fact I really like the horse and like Kenny McPeak. So yeah, I have it Mystic Dan on top, and then Nice House, the Baffert horse that won the San Diego handicap here this summer at Del Mar. Likes that track 2 for 2 at Del Mar.
I think there's a lot to be said for that. Horse likes a track.
Yep,
It's good. It's a good betting angle.
I agree. So, you know, I I don't know. I guess I could take a quick peek. I don't know how long it's been since Mystic Dan has run just a mile. He's only ran a mile one time and didn't go well.
But you're still going with them.
Well, I mean, this is all speculation, right? We're still a couple weeks out. Looking at the numbers, I liked how he's running, and but he has never run a straight mile before.
Is there
But
anybody in the
he's
race?
never won at a mile.
Is there anybody in this race that hasn't run more than a mile? You know what I'm asking?
Yeah,
Anybody that are pure mile or less sprinter, as I guess you'd call them.
It's never run a mile. That's your question, right?
Never run more than a mile. Because most of these horses
Oh,
run a mile and a quarter mile and a 16th.
right. And this is, just obviously it's just going to be a mile.
Right.
Not that I can see.
Okay.
Well, I guess actually there's a shipper coming in from, is it Uruguay? Must be Uruguay. At least so far, called Touch of Destiny. That's by the looks of it is the longest it's ever run as a mile. Um, Nisos has only run a mile and a 16th once.
Okay.
And that's my number two horse.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Are you playing? Okay, you got one in your two. How are you playing it? Are you gonna straight up to win? You gonna do exacta? Gonna do how
Well,
would
again, I think we
it
talked a little bit about that last week. It's going to depend on the odds, especially, like when we're at the track there. Um, I mean, in California, you're going to, anywhere, Baffert money is just going to pile on. So I would think that Citizen Bull and Nisos are going to take a lot of money. Um, but, Mystic Dan won the Kentucky Derby. So
yeah, he's a fan favorite too, so
it would depend on the odds in this race because another horse that I really like a lot is that full Serrano. I apologize, I didn't take the time to actually listen to the call of some of this horse's races, and I don't remember this horse winning last year the Dirt Mile. Do you? It's
no.
John Sadler horse,
Yeah, I like John
full
Sadler.
Serrano.
I like John
Um,
Sadler. We were there. I don't remember it.
I don't remember it either. But I kind of like this horse too. Um, so I can't give you a definitive answer, Bill, because I don't. It would make me a little nervous to put much money on Mystic Dan because I don't think he'd get great odds, and I I don't like going after something a horse has never been able to do before.
I
That whole
I
ad.
yeah, for sure. I like your
Never won at
Sadler
a mile.
play.
Yeah, he's never won at a mile, and he's going up against some tough horses to try and win at a mile.
Yeah. I like the
So
defending champ, Sadler's horse. I think if I had to play it right now, that's how I'd play it. But we got time.
and that's what's fun. Like I just wanted to get a handle on it before, and just to look at it. Like I love that White Barrio's running in it. Coming only 2 years removed from winning the classic and still out there running. Because White Barrio must be it's either 6 or 5. Because Full Sereno is a 6-year-old, which I love running in one of these races. I love when they keep horses around and keep going. Yeah,
Me
White
too.
Barrio is a 6. They
Yeah.
have they have two Breeders' Cup champions, one at the Dirt Mile, one at the Classic, both running in this race, and they're both 6-year-olds. So that's pretty fun.
Yeah, I
And
like that a lot. Let us
Barrio,
enjoy a horse's racing career.
right?
All right, so Kev, you got a little handicapping done for us for this weekend. Sunday race in Keeneland.
Yeah. Um, Staying at Keeneland again this weekend. Instead of Saturday, though, it's a Sunday race on the 19th. The Rood and Riddle Dowager.
All right.
Fillies and Mares,
It's a
3 years old.
G3 race, mile and a
Yep,
half
a race,
on the turf.
mile and a half on the turf at Keeneland. A race that's near and dear for us. One of our horses that we have micro shares on. I
Temple
don't know if
City
it's still
Terror.
the Temple City Terror won this race in 2022. At the time, it was the stakes record for that race, but got it
Oh,
up on the wall right over there.
it might still
Uh,
be the record for all we know.
yeah, 227 something. Um, she did great. Uh, so yeah, that's the graded stakes race this weekend that we're gonna take a crack at.
All right.
So you ready?
I am ready. I'm ready to make some money.
All right, let's see if we can make a little dough. I'm going to share my screen here, a couple different ones. So it's a 9 horse field. I don't know if you can view. Is it up?
Yep, it's up. Looking good.
All right. Got
Brandon Walsh has three horses in this race.
he does.
Nice.
He
Wow.
does. Um,
Okay.
and Joe Sharp's got a couple. Otherwise, you got your big players, McCarthy, Maker, um, in the race. There's a Canterbury horse or a horse that ran at Canterbury this summer. I've got it finishing dead last, but here's it's a local connection for myself. Cupid's Crush. Um, so yeah, you want to.
Oh, yeah, Minnesota horse. I see that. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're right. Brendan's got a few in here. Let me bring up the racing form. Yeah, so here's the form. I actually don't have the favorite on top. I was a little bit surprised to because usually I do my number crunching without looking at the morning line. Um, and this is a form that I had printed out earlier in the week, so it doesn't have the odds on it, you know.
Yeah, that's great when they do.
Um, I agree. Then you can look at it a little more objectively. But it looks like the number 6, the Joe Sharp or Irad horse, is going to go off as the favorite. Um, I have nothing I don't like about this horse outside of um, the odds. But anyways, by my numbers, I have him finishing fourth, but it looks like it'll probably go off as the morning line favorite anyway. So
Yeah,
Viv
good
Vu.
good connections. That's what all I can that I really like about it. I like the connections. Trainer jockey.
Yeah, but I'm surprised, and I think it's the connections, and at least it's IRAD. But when you look at its races since going coming into the Joe Sharp barn these last 5, there's no graded stakes race in there. Good races, but
Yeah.
I don't I don't I have this horse finishing in the top 4, but it's not who I'm gonna roll with.
Good.
Um,
Good. I like it when the favorite's not the one you like.
yeah, and this is the time of year. Last week we did this for the Queen Elizabeth, uh, and these Kentucky area races. There's some horses this uh, uh, end of the summer, early fall, that like going to Kentucky Downs with the hill and little dog leg, and some don't. And my the horse I like again this week, I'm going with same connections as last week. Uh, the Brandon Walsh horse, Spanish Eyes, the number 2. Tyler's on this horse again, but
They
pointing it
did
out because its last race at Kentucky Downs. I'm putting a line through it. Just did not look like it was happy to be there.
well, explain why
But
you do that often with Kentucky Downs. You don't give it as much. Tell me why. Why?
I think it's just
Well,
a unique track.
yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of Um, there's horses that love running down the hill at Santa Anita, you know, and I feel like that's horse similar. There's horses that just don't do great at Kentucky Downs. So Kentucky Downs is got a little jog to a little right turn as opposed to just a basic oval. They go up a hill, they come down a hill. It's a little bit more like European racing. Um, some horses like running in a circle, or an oval.
They like
So
what they
I
they
don't.
like what they like. They like what they're familiar with.
Yeah, and this isn't run at Kentucky Downs, so
Right.
I tend to um, not go too overboard with Kentucky Down races one way or the other.
Yeah,
And
good.
I really like the two previous races for this horse. Um, one at Colonial Downs, um, a nice a mile and 3/16, but ran really well down the stretch to finish second. I like the jockey switch. I got nothing against Curtis, but I'd rather have Tyler at Keeneland. And then at Delaware, um, that was a slow pace and was really coming hard and 3/8 of a mile and 3/8. I think he's going to like the distance. He's run the distance in Germany. Um, when you look at the average winning distance of the sire and the dam sire, you're talking 10 furlongs. This horse is coming from Europe or, started out in Europe. It's bred for distance. So if I'm right, I'm right that the horse was not a big fan of Kentucky Downs. I'm going with the two previous races. I also really like the number 8 horse, Maiwa or Miwa. I think it's Maiwa. Another Joe Sharp connection, another Ortiz brother. Um, and this horse, here we go again. Uh, do you like that it ran great at Kentucky Downs, or not? Because it ran great at Kentucky Downs. Uh,
Well,
one,
I don't think you can hold it against a horse for running well, but
no,
it just like I think what you're saying is if it doesn't run well at Kentucky Downs, so what? It didn't like that style of track, didn't like, So if they like it, just means it's a versatile horse that can run in. Yeah, so yeah, wouldn't hold it
yep,
against him for winning at Kentucky Downs. Wouldn't hold it against him for
agreed.
not winning at Kentucky Downs. Yeah.
And it ran fine in the spring at Keeneland on a wet yielding track at only a mile. It was making a nice run. Ran fourth. But for me, I have it Spanish Eyes on top. Maiwa, the number 8, finishing second. And then we already talked about the 6. I have uh, that horse says the number 4, but my third place horse would be Duvet Day, the number 4 horse, Mike McCarthy horse, and coming out of Kentucky Downs, most recent.
Scroll up a little
Uh,
more. A little more.
there you go. Most recent was
All right, good.
G3 at Kentucky Downs, but also ran at Colonial this summer. Um, Churchill prior to that. But I like this horse. Hasn't been finishing in the money recently, but non-graded stakes at Churchill. But last winter, won a G3, ran in the Dowager last year, didn't do so well, but I like I like how this horse stacks up against the competition in this race. I can see it finishing in the money. It'll be part of my exotics.
All right. Speaking of which, how you playing this? You going as deep as a try or
So,
just exacta or?
um, I'm stick by my normal, and then I'll decide if I'm gonna throw in a try. But I'm gonna play Spanish Eyes to win, and do an exact with Spanish Eyes over my Duvet Day and Viv Vuv, and do another one with Spanish Eyes in second, and those three on top. It's the
Huh.
plan.
And then see how it plays out, whether or not you're going to go deeper into a try.
Yeah, because I'm hoping like last week, I wasn't able to actually watch the race live. We were hanging out, you and I, a little bit of a reunion. So if I get a chance to watch the race, I might, um, do a little tinkering, so to speak. Because I also like Venetia, another Brendan Walsh horse that Ben Curtis is riding, coming in from been running at Woodbine most recently. So I potentially would go after a trifecta, but it's all going to be based around Spanish Eyes finishing first or second.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little bit. I looked at the race at when a chance. I also like that Venetia, the French horse that um, Brandon
Yeah,
has.
I agree. I like it a lot. I don't see um, any real weakness in that horse, and I like how it's running. I think it's going
Good.
to want this distance too. Yeah, so
So,
that's what I got for this week, man.
well, let's go make some money on that. So again, that's Sunday at Keeneland, not Saturday. Sunday.
Correct. Sunday
Yeah,
afternoon.
beautiful.
Yep.
All right. Well, it was fun as always. Should we wrap it up
Always
here?
fun.
Yep.
Yeah, we're only 2 weeks away from the Breeders' Cup.
I've got a lot to
It's
talk about between now and then.